G'day everyone. I want to talk about something rather different today. We're going to talk about the Rowtor Rocks in England. But first I want to show you this so we can see that geology as we know it is very wrong. Now geologists we know are very, very good at finding metal, finding, coal, finding whatever they need to find. The science is skewed towards finding things, but is it really good at telling us how things came to be? And I would say not necessarily. This is an old 19th century picture of basically cycads inside a coal seam. So what it is suggesting is the trees were growing in a forest, a massive catastrophe ensued, and it all came tumbling down and turned into coal very quickly. Very quickly. And it preserved all of this. It quickly became an anaerobic environment, preserving the tree until it was able to turn to stone. Same thing. Vertical trees in the coal measures sandstone, Saint Etienne, France. Same thing. Vertical columns in a sort of sandy mudstone. Example number 2. We have beach rock. Now beach rock forms very quickly. It's a kind of sandstone really, limestone. And as you see, it's formed of all these little shells basically. And it's shells and mud, and it really is quite hard. And it just forms, in a matter of years really. Again, that's what it looks like. And I'm showing this to demonstrate that rocks can form with blistering ease, and we don't appreciate that. And they can form around other objects. Beach rock itself forms around, bits of wood, bits of stone, and like a rolling avalanche, a snowball, it just gets bigger and bigger, really. And now we come to this. I found this online. There's tunnels here in the Rowtor Rocks in England. Geological tunnels. It's some kind of outcrop on a hill. Now on the one hand, it looks natural because it's just a basalt outcrop. It looks almost like basalt columns, but there are a few things which suggest it could be a preserved, fossilized, some kind of an ancient research facility or weather station or something which was on a hilltop. Now let's look at this. That reminds me of the Barabar caves in India. I'm not sure what it reminds you of. This is bizarre. This looks like it's almost like a fossilized roof or something. Something from some... It's almost like a 1950s diner or restaurant. And here you have a doorway. Now, this site was tampered with 300 years ago by Parson, and apparently he carved out much of it. I don't think he carved this, though. And it's so weird. Look, there's a seam here. What's going on there? Was this a quarry and it's been turned into something else? It looks really weird. And this doorway, this is where apparently the Druids did their secret ceremonies. I don't know. Look, the site was sacred to ancient people. They left their cup and ring marks here as well. A historical picture of the site. Now, it's bizarre. You've got steps. It's a bit like Externstein in Germany. And you've got this box, but it's a stone box. It's weird. It's not for baptizing or anything like that. It's not round. What is it? Here you have an entrance. Here you've got this prehistoric pillar. This is an obelisk which has eroded. It's very similar to the obelisk at... it's similar to the obelisk in Yorkshire and several other obelisks. The rootstone monolith, which has... they have these crevices and cuts in them, you see. And the geologists say, oh, it's natural. Well, it's not natural. It was cut like that, and yeah, it became like that. So you have this obelisk or something here. God knows what's going on here with this rock. It looks like the lava has covered up something, you know. Again, this could be that obelisk, I'm not sure. It's just incredibly weird. Bizarrely weird. It's as if the rock has formed around something else, and we don't know what it is. Now, in all fairness, the parson could have carved out a bench here. Why not? But is that what it really is? I don't know what it is. He could have carved out the steps as well. What's happening here? And a shout out to all these people, like as Chris said and all this. I hope you don't mind me using your photos. I'm sure you don't. Yeah, there's like a hand here. It's almost like with a finger pointing upwards or something. It's so weird. I mean, it's like an ancient statue or something. I don't know. And again, caves. This has been cut out. Either it's been quarried, or I don't know. It's a fossilized building. The building itself is a fossil because of some volcanic eruption in ancient times. Oh, it's strange. And look, there's some kind of it's like on a cliff. Look, that's a vertical. That's part of the building. What else could this be? You don't see many outcrops with like a drop off like that. That's a bit weird. It's like a multi-level building, almost like a huge, enormous step pyramid in a way. Again, the steps. Now, some of these rocks really puzzle me. You've got these weird right angles here. Humans have been tampering with it. And look, it's almost like the stuff you see on Inca walls, those huge stones where you have outlines of other strange things going on which you can't really see because it's as if something's been poured over the top of it. But this is more ancient. This is it's clearly it's turned to stone, or it's been covered by lava or something. It's almost lost all resemblance to its original appearance. And again, now that could be natural basalt, which does do things like this, or it could be a fossilized, huge, enormous building. I mean, look at these square shapes. What's going on here? And it's moved in earthquakes. It's shifted around, you see. Again, that's very Barabar cave-ish. Incredibly so. That little seam there. Look at that seam. Look at that. And look, there's another one there. Either they've sawn out some blocks and that's the mark, or it's a mark of a building. I mean, how incredible is that? And what civilization could have built something like this? I mean, I don't know what's going on there. It's a bit weird. That looks like lava's flown over the top of something. Again, the bench. Now this is just a random building, Carolina. What if the lava covered up this and there was still like a doorway, but it looked like what I've been showing you? It could very easily happen, and a building can become fossilized. I mean, if a skeleton made of calcium, a very weak metal, can become fossilized, this can more easily become fossilized. I don't think anyone can argue with that. Again, something weird. The question is, what civilization built this? Now, we had a hypercivilization about 150,000 to 120,000, to 60, 70,000 years ago. It may have been wiped out by the Toba explosion. There were only about 20,000 humans left after that, according to geneticists. That was responsible for the Mahabharata wars and other things. We can go even further back in time, 250 million years ago. I suggested there was something that happened in Australia. Australia was destroyed. The geologists always say natural activity. I'm thinking, why not biological activity? Why not organisms on the ground doing something to the landscape? You have all these continents. They all look different. I would expect the Earth to be more uniform. Why does the Amazon only have trees? Why does Australia only have this huge red desert for most of it? I mean, it's as if each continent has been destroyed, and just one type of vegetation, one type of climate has arisen in the place of that destruction, because it's the only thing that could tolerate that area. We had another strange creature about 50 million years ago, which I'll make another video about, a bizarre animal, highly intelligent, dinosaur bird-like. It could have had a civilization as well. And I'm not just making up random stuff. I'm going to prove everything. I always do in these videos. I always try and prove things, provide evidence. They may have had a role to play in this as well, because this is incredibly ancient. It looks far older than, say many things in America, simply because a volcano has covered this over, and no one talks about volcanoes in Britain. It's truly ancient. Again, this is a historical photo. So a few hundred years ago, the Rowtor Rocks looked even more bizarre. And look at that, these straight angles and things. It looked more like a building or something that had been, there's a roof that had been covered up or something. Now it looks a bit different. Maybe some of this has been taken away, not sure. I mean, bizarre. By the way, it's on private land. I'm not sure about the access to the site. I think it's okay, but well, there you go. I mean, it's just strange. We don't know what this is and who made it. Guys, thanks very much.